Massage parlor or spa, illegal alien or non-citizen, China virus or COVID-19. Do words matter?
As ABC 10's lead race and culture reporter Kandace Redd shows us, words have the potential to affect the way you think, behave, and experience the world. And it's the subject of tonight's cover story.
Asian Americans are not a virus.
Instead, I would love to be called a proud U.S. citizen.
Do words matter? Absolutely. They give you a way of experiencing the world. Linguistics is the scientific study of language. And then it also addresses language in the brain. Language and words can profoundly shape thought and action. It's called the theory of linguistic relativity. It isn't just the words that we communicate content. We communicate how we want the content to be interpreted. And that would mean stress, pitch, volume, speed. It is with language that we make or break relationships. Whether those relationships are one-on-one or between cultural groups or across nations. If you want to be an effective communicator, well, then you would have to pay attention to the words you choose. Words like massage parlor trivialize the kind of work that Asian American women have been associated with. The connotations around massage parlor bring up a whole range of sexualized meanings that a word like spa simply does not.
When you have people labeling COVID-19 as the China flu, as Kung flu like Donald Trump did, it causes a lot of divisions. If you look at all of the reports on the skyrocketing anti-Asian incidents just over the past year during the pandemic, there have been over 6,600 reported hate incidents. Donald Trump didn't invent anti-Asian hate speech. You know, that existed even before the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act here in the United States. 140 years ago, they used the term yellow peril and led to increased discrimination, led to violent attacks, murders, lynchings, the burning of Chinatowns in the U.S. During World War II, my family was imprisoned in America's World War II concentration camps, along with 120,000 other Japanese Americans. They labeled Japanese Americans as non-aliens. Now, what are non-aliens? Non-aliens are U.S. American citizens. People like my mother and father who were born and raised here, American citizens, were blamed for the actions of Japan. And that resulted in people being locked up. The government used the term evacuation for removing people. It was forcibly evicting. The government also labeled the World War II camps as relocation camps. People were forcibly imprisoned.
Where we are located right now is historical Chinatown in Folsom, California. Back in the 1800s, Chinese around the Central Valley, they fled their communities because they were being kicked out, ostracized. The residents of these communities felt that the Chinese were dirty, carried disease, they ate weird animals, and got sick. In 1893, the Folsom Telegraph newspaper said that the Folsom Chinatown was full of sickly heathens. So back then, words mattered. Last year, I was wearing my mask going into a store. And while walking into the store, a gentleman walked out of the store. I said, "Good morning." He looked at me and he went, "F you," and the C word. I haven't been called that word in over 40 years. I was hurt. I had to continually ask myself, why was I called that name? Well, going forward to 2021, the majority of the hate crimes that have been filed have been right here in California. President Biden commented very emotionally, "Speak out, speak up, don't be complicit." We have the COVID-19 hate crime bill that has been a bipartisan approved, signed by the president. It is now law. In this law, it will make it easier for people of color. If they need help, there will be resources from the Department of Justice, FBI, local law enforcement, and communities to provide help.
It's an opportunity to educate people, raise that awareness. Because I think most Americans are open-minded, they're willing to learn, They're willing to do the right thing and want to do the right thing.
Everything about language use is a matter of choice. You can choose to say something in a certain way, just as you can choose to be destructive via words. If words have the potential to be destructive, they have the potential to unify.